Welcome at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. The Tooele City Council is meeting in a business meeting that is being held at Tooele City Hall in the council chambers located at 90 North Main Street in Tooele, Utah. We're also streaming this electronically on the Tooele City YouTube channel. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our second item is a roll call. Councilman Gossett.
Present.
Councilwoman Goches.
Present.
Councilman Hanson.
Present.
Councilman McCall.
Present.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I'm present. Item 3 is the America 250 tribute. I don't know who's presenting on this. Showing a video, okay.
Can you see by the dawn's early light?
Thank you, that was great. We'll move on to item 4, which is our public comment period. This is the time that the public comment period is an opportunity for residents to address the city council. Comments will be limited to no more than 3 minutes per person unless additional time is authorized by the governing body. We ask that you state your name into the mic and then you sign the paper by Shiloh. The time is now the public's. Seeing no one come forward, I will close the public comment period, and we will move on to item 5, which is a public hearing and motion on ordinance 2026-19. An ordinance of the Tooele City Council amending Tooele City Code Chapter 7-25 signs regarding the regulation of political signs to conform with Utah Code Chapter 28-17 as amended by Utah House Bill 33, making other updates to Tooele City Code Chapter 7-25 and setting fees related to safekeeping political signs and related appeals, presented by Matt Johnson, the city attorney.
That long title gave me plenty of time to get up here. The short answer to this one is the state legislatures changed the way that cities can regulate political signs, and so we're amending our city code to account for that. Chapter 725 of Tooele City Code. Let's see. Perfect. Chapter 725 of Tooele City Code is a land use chapter. It regulates signs on private property. Historically, this has included the regulation of political signs. With the passing of House Bill 33 this year, it's changed cities' abilities to do this in two big ways. The first way is that cities can no longer prohibit political signs on public park strips so long as the owner of the property adjacent to the park strip consents to it, where before that was public right-of-way and the city could prohibit it, and our code currently does prohibit that. The state code now says that the city can't do that as long as the landowner who's adjacent to it agrees to it. Then the second change is that cities can only remove signs that are not compliant with state code. The state code having to do with the timing, especially near election day, the size of them, where they're placed, or if signs create a traffic hazard, pedestrian hazard, or line of sight hazard, the cities can remove those. But it goes further than that. I apologize for the small font on this, but if the city removes a political sign, the city then has to place it in safekeeping. And the state code regulates how that happens. Under the right circumstances, the city can ask for a recoupment fee for safekeeping that sign, but it can be no more than $20, so it's not very much. And the city has to provide a way for the sign owner to say that $20 wasn't necessary for the city to incur to safekeep the sign. So based on that, the proposed amendments carve out political signs from the more general regulations of signs that are in 725. For example, abandoned signs specifically says that political signs can't be abandoned signs because the way we have to turn to the state code to see what we do with them, where with other signs we can regulate how we treat abandoned signs. As much as possible, we've tried to just have these amendments just point right back to the state code so that we're not repeating it. So in case they tweak it a little later, or in case we forget a comma that the state put in, that we're just consistent, we point right back to the state code. In addition, to make sure we've created a section in 725:30.1 that says how the city will safekeep these signs. It'll be up to the Director of Community Development to designate an area to safekeep the signs. And it also provides for the imposition of the fee and an appeal process that the state code accounts for but doesn't describe. So our code will describe how we're going to do that. Also, as we were going through it, there was some prior language that we wanted to change to make it more consistent with language in other chapters of the city code as to the appeal process. There's currently two types of appeals in 7-25, one for civil citations and one for things like denials of sign applications. This would be a third one, and where it was getting a little muddled, we wanted to break out, okay, number one, number two, number three. And then there are also some cleanup items. There's a reference to the Board of Adjustment that the city does not have anymore, so we took that out. And then in the actual ordinance, this isn't in the code itself, but in the ordinance, we've proposed a fee of $20 for the political safekeeping. We go right to that max of $20. And then we're also proposing a fee of $20 for the appeal of it. Under our Administrative Appeals Chapter 1-28, any person appealing it who won their appeal would get that $20 back. That's just part of the general city appeals process. Any questions?
So you had mentioned that the adjacent property owner, if they're okay with the sign being there, then it can't be removed.
Right.
But then does that mean that they kind of have say in what signs can go there? Like, let's say there's the two-party signs and they don't want one party there. They can say, I don't want that person's sign there, but they can keep the other one? Or is it like an all or nothing kind of thing?
The way I read it, they could contact the city code enforcement and say, I didn't agree to this sign. Then that sign's in violation of state code. So the code enforcement could come and take it and put it into safekeeping.
It seems like it's creating a way for an adjacent property owner to use public property for political signs that they prefer, though, unless I'm thinking of that wrong. And I don't think that's the intention of the state legislators. I hope not, but that's kind of what it seems like. But we don't really have a choice but to comply, so.
Right.
Okay.
I think we're not presenting this as a good idea, other than this is a good idea that we follow state code. So, yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but any other questions or comments?
I did have a couple of questions. You mentioned the cleanup. Does that involve abandoned signs after the election? Because sometimes you see them that they've been left, so.
It does. That's one of the time limits where the city could go in and remove it, but we'd have to do it under the state code and not under the city's abandoned signs code. But yeah, that would be one of the ways that, for example, even if an adjacent property owner approved of it, but the time had run past the state statute, which off the top of my head I don't remember, but once that's passed, then city code enforcement could go and take it and put it into safekeeping.
Okay. And then the $20 fine, is that per sign or is that like per multiple signs?
It's multiple.
Multiple, okay.
Yeah, it's per deposit, which is sort of odd. So do we have our code enforcement go and do one at a time, or no? I mean, I think it's more feasible for the code enforcement officer to just do their job, and if they get 12 signs from one sign owner and it's deposited, it's $20 for the 12 signs. But if it's one, it's $20 for the one sign. Yeah.
And does the state code modify the date that you can put signs out?
It is.
Because we have had one in Tooele City, and then I believe that was negated. Is that correct?
I think it's under state code now. Yeah.
Under state code, there is a specific time frame to
There
put
is.
Political signs out?
There is a specific time frame. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I apologize. I couldn't tell you exactly when it is, but that is in the state code.
Correct me if I'm wrong, as far as the timing of putting the sign out. If I'm not mistaken, if, say, I was running and I wanted to put my vote for me sign in my yard, I can leave it there year round.
Because it's private property.
Because it's private property.
Because it's private.
So that would only apply to what they're talking about now,
About
by the street, someone else's.
I think you're right, because it's private property.
Yeah, and so I don't understand. I don't think it would much matter when you put your sign out. You know what I mean? Because I know when this guy ran, he had this out 3 months before.
I did?
I'm kidding, Ed, I'm kidding.
I might have.
Okay.
I might have slept through it.
I think there are only dates on when you have to take the signs down. I don't know that there's a state code on putting them up, but after an election, you have like 14 days to take them down.
And that definitely would be relevant to park strips, and also when we see them in other more public areas. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, thanks, Matt. This item has a public hearing. We invite the public to address the council with the previous stated rules. The time is now the public's.
Thank you, counsel and attorney. I guess I need some clarification. We're only talking political signs here and not business signs? So a business owner can still go in my parkway and put up a sign without me having any say-so. Am I correct on that?
No.
Okay. Same thing applies as with regard to the political sign.
This is something special for political signs. It used to be that the political signs could not be in the park strips either.
Okay.
But this year, that's an exception. But other signs, a business owner couldn't come and put it. Really, it's city property.
We have a sign ordinance for the commercial signs.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Will you just state your name into the mic and then sign the paper by Shiloh?
Scott Dagelbeck, Tooele.
Thank you.
Chris Sloan, Tooele City. My understanding of the law is that there is no opening date for placing them, but I also think the law allows a municipality to create one tied to early voting, start of early voting. I know a couple of communities in the state do. I think Duchesne does. Saratoga Springs may be the other one, but I think they allow that. And as Mayor said, the deadline for pulling them is 14 days after whatever election you're dealing with.
Thanks, Chris. Just sign the paper by Shiloh. Okay, seeing no one else coming forward, I will close the public hearing and I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve ordinance 2026-19, an ordinance of Tooele City Council amending the Tooele City Code, Chapter 7-25, signs regarding the regulation of political signs to conform with the Utah Code, Chapter 28-17, as amended by the Utah House Bill 33, making other updates to the Tooele City Code, Chapter 7-25, and setting fees related to safekeeping political signs and related appeals.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall and a second from Councilman Gossett. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall.
Aye.
Councilman Hanson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches.
Aye.
Councilman Gossett.
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 6 is a public hearing and motion on ordinance 2026-20, an ordinance of the Tooele City Council amending Tooele City Code Section 7-16A-3 regarding commercial special districts, eligibility and size, presented by Andrew Agard, the Community Development Director.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll just be really brief. The applicant has asked or requested that the City Council remand this back to Planning Commission. They want to make some additional changes to the original proposal, so it's not ready for the City Council's approval yet. So if the Council could remand that back, that'd be great.
Okay, we can table it then, so I'll make I'll make a motion that we table, I will make a motion that we table ordinance 2026-20.
I'll second.
And we have a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett.
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches.
Aye.
Councilman Hanson.
Aye.
Councilman McCall.
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye.
Just leave it.
So that is tabled, 5-0 vote. Item 7 is a public hearing and motion on ordinance 2026-21, an ordinance of Tooele City reassigning the land use designation for approximately 4.1 acres of property located at approximately 1280 North and 200 East from medium-density residential to light industrial, presented by Andrew Agard, the Community Development Director.
Thank you, Council. The 4.1 acre parcel is highlighted in red on the aerial photograph. You'll note that it is immediately east of 1280 North and approximately 300 East. The property currently would be considered landlocked in that there isn't any immediate right-of-way extending to it. However, you will note that on the aerial photograph, there is a narrow strip of property extending from 1000 North to that property. The applicant of this land use map amendment does own that narrow strip, and so there is potential there to have access to that property constructed in the future. The current land use designation of the property is MDR, medium density residential, which is a land use designation that requires the R17, R18, and R110 single-family residential zones. There is some regional commercial, not some, a lot of regional commercial to the west, and then there's some light industrial located a little further south. The property a little further south that is zoned or designated as light industrial is under the same ownership as the subject property. Just for the council's information, the property is currently zoned R18. Properties located to the north and east are MR16 PUD, which is the Western Acres development. We have light industrial located to the west, and then we have a holding zone of RR5 located immediately south of the subject property. The applicant is requesting the land use map be amended to light industrial. This does not change the zoning of the property. This just facilitates the council's ability to discuss rezoning the property to light industrial. So they will need to come back to the council in the future for a zoning map amendment, whereby the zoning will be considered for the property. The light industrial designation includes the light industrial zone and the industrial service zoning district. Does not include the industrial zone. And then, as going back to the aerial, you'll note that there isn't much around the property currently. The Western Acres development is gradually creeping south as they continue to build. But largely, the properties around the subject property are currently undeveloped ground. The applicant is here if the city council does have any questions for him. And this item did go to the Planning Commission on the June 24th meeting, and the Planning Commission did vote to recommend in favor of the change to light industrial. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you.
Okay, are there any questions or comments?
Just good discussion on light industrial in the work meeting, so have appropriate uses.
Thank you.
Okay, this item also has a public hearing, so we invite the public to address the council with the previously stated rules. The time's now the public's. Okay, seeing no one come forward, I will close the public hearing and I'll entertain a motion. Unless there's discussion or something.
Do you want to discuss with the applicant?
Does anyone have questions for the applicant? Do you have anything you'd like to, or just if we have questions? You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. Okay. I think with the light industrial being in that area and knowing where that's at, I think it's appropriate use for that.
Sure, agreed.
So, okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2026-21, an ordinance of the Tooele City reassigning the land use designation of approximately 4.1 acres of property located at approximately 1280 north and 200 east from medium density residential to light industrial.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 8 is a quarterly economic development update presented by John Perez, the Economic Development Director.
Good evening, Council. So this is the fourth quarter update. So this is the 1st of April through the end of June. So right here, you'll see the grand openings that occurred over the quarter. We had Snell Grove Ice Cream, Electroflow, Beans and Brews, and then Sport Clips, excuse me. This is the vacancy rates. This shows the difference between Q3 and Q4, the percent change. And you say, oh, 0.8% for retail went slightly up. But that is because there's just a couple different little spots that have kind of came on to the market. There's still that one piece, the far eastern slot in Founders Point, that's still on there. And then there was also kind of a medical office / retail where the old Bonneville family practice used to be. That little center's also actively being marketed by Newmark. I've met with the property owner a couple different times. I was able to put her in contact with IHC, and they're actually looking at potentially using one or two or combining two of the suites there, so that would be great. But very little change, nothing to be concerned about. And then you'll see the office stayed at 0%, and then the industrial went up just a little bit. It's important to note when I was discussing these with the people that I get the statistics from, it's important to note that some industrial facilities that have not been built yet, but even that land, that's also accounted for in this percentage. So that's really a good thing, right? Because that means there's still room for growth. And then that hospitality, it went up just a little bit, which is still healthy. Anything above 60% is considered healthy, so we are doing good. And that includes all the hotels in Tooele City, and then also pulls from Lake Point as well. And then you see in the lead generating pipeline, you say, wow, look at that 10 and 10. How is that even possible? And that's because in May, I attended the ICSC convention in Las Vegas. And, you know, you want to say, oh, like, who did you talk to? You know, like HTO, this new drive-through concept, EOS Fitness, you know, the list goes on, lots of different people, Golden Corral, and, you know, Dave's favorite Sizzler. Lots of people were contacted. There were lots of meetings that were had, met with a lot of different commercial developers from Utah and in neighboring states. So it was a very good convention. And, you know, we were also very well represented. EDC Utah hosted the retail booth for municipalities in Utah that wanted to participate and have like a spot. So Tooele City did have a spot at that booth, and you know, people were coming all day long. It's like the Super Bowl of retailers and developers. So very good, very healthy representation there. So it was great. And then there were two RFIs that were submitted, and then we had two RFI visits in Q4 as well. So like I said, 2 RFIs were submitted, and then you'll see the one RFI win in Q1 FY26. That was the ElectraFlow, and that's that picture up there. So you'll see the mayor's obviously front and center, and then we also have a couple of council members there as well. We also had the governor's office of economic development there as well, and then Ryan Starks, the president of EDC Utah, he was also in attendance. We also were able to get KSL out there, so there we go again with more news coverage. There was a little piece that was aired, I believe, on the day of, and Mayor Manzione's, you know, friends, oh wow, look at you, celebrity, right? But we still are hoping for a bigger piece to be on Sunday edition, like the other ones that we've had, but it hasn't aired yet, but I'm hoping soon, and once we do, I'll share that with you. And then that one RFI win in QYF 126, that was the logistics that was JB Hunt, the logistics for Central States, and I'm just kind of restating it since it was still in FY26, and hopefully we get some more this next year. And then I'm just stating this again, I think everybody's pretty familiar, and I do want to make the adjustment now too, just so you're aware that Shopco Optical is open. There's not been a ribbon cutting yet. I haven't been able to get in contact with them, but hopefully we can do that soon. Everybody's always calling. I mean, people are calling me almost every day, emailing me, what's coming, but that 7 Brews is just west of where 7-Eleven is, and then Zao and Zupas are further to the west as well. And then Shopco's right there in between Wingstop and Chili's. And then you can go to the next slide. Right here for the peak, all of those listed, with the exception of Little Caesars and McDonald's, are open. Chase Bank is now open. The nail spa is open, and then previously stated on the ribbon cuttings, you saw Snell Grove opened as well. Einstein, all of those are open now. More is coming, so we'll have some more announcements soon. We just can't say anything quite yet. For this Hollywood Plaza right here on the northwest corner of SR 36 and Utah Avenue, you'll see that Wiener Schnitzel is still on there, and then Porta Subs, and then Xfinity. Fizz that was on previous presentation is no longer coming, so I don't want there to be any misinformation, but that's not on there anymore, so just in case anybody was wondering. So those are the 3 that are confirmed, and then there was a coffee/bakery that was on there previously too, but that's not on there now either, so just those 3 for now. If there's any change, I'll let everybody know. And then the business park, those are both of the RFI visits we had in this past quarter. They both included the Peterson Industrial Depot and then the business park as well. So it's actively being marketed, and we hope, you know, we get some more development there as well. And then this strategic plan, we're going to be working on getting that uploaded onto the website. As I reported last quarter, it was completed. But if anybody has questions on that and wants, you know, a physical copy, I'm happy to get that to you as well. And I think I was talking to Councilwoman Goetjes, and I just told Chairman Brady, I don't know if everybody really realizes, but we had 748 responses on that survey, and I don't know if people forgot that or didn't hear it, but that's a lot for a city this size. That's quite remarkable. You go to the next one. And then social media, this is Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You'll see over 1,200% increase in reach for Facebook, 121.8% increase in content interactions for LinkedIn. And just to let it be known that before I got here, there was no LinkedIn page. And look at that percentage increase on the LinkedIn page. Wow, right? Over 93% for reactions and over 91% for impressions. And then before I open it up for any questions or suggestions, Councilwoman Goches, she's now on the RDA, and when Mayor Manzione was on the council, she was on the RDA, and she said, I did not realize that we saved over $1 million on the removal of that building on Broadway. So if you didn't hear it before, I just wanted to restate it. Over $1 million was saved in removing that building. And that really goes to when Mayor Manzione was on the RDA, Dave McCall, Councilman McCall, when he's still on the RDA, and former Mayor Wynn and myself thinking outside of the box. But any other questions or suggestions?
John, I just want to say, I don't think I'm the only person in Tooele that is looking for a buffet.
Yeah, no, well, but see, we do technically have a buffet though, because pizza pie is technically a buffet, right? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Always enjoy
Thank
your
you.
updates.
And no, I think if anybody wanted to make a comment, this must be the most exciting piece of the meeting, right? I mean, come on, let's be real, let's be frank.
We'll see. Shannon's up next, so she's got to. Okay, item 9, Resolution 2026-44, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving a 5-year general consulting agreement with Ritchie May and Company, LLP, certified public accountants regarding the city financial statements for fiscal years 2026 through 2030, presented by Shannon Wimmer, the Finance Director.
Thank you, Council. Much to John's dismay, he's going to realize there's nothing more exciting than accounting, so everybody loves when I get up here. But this is to renew our contract. These are our consultants that help us prepare our financial statements and all of the things that we will then present to the auditors for our final certified audit. Our 5-year contract, previous 5-year contract with them expired in 2025. The compensation, probably the most important part you want to know about this contract, one is that it's good for 5 years, and it does have only about a 2% increase from each year. So fiscal year 26 will be $46,500, and then in year 2030 we're only up to $52,500. So we've worked a lot to reduce and their work and do as much as we can within the finance department. But this also saves us a lot of money of not having to hire additional staff, which we couldn't get for that price. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2026-44, resolution of the Tooele City Council approving a 5-year general consulting agreement with Ritchie May and Co. LLP, certified public accountants regarding city financial statements for fiscal years 2026 to 2030.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Gossett and a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall.
Aye.
Councilman Hanson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches.
Aye.
Councilman Gossett.
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 10 is Resolution 2026-45, a resolution of the Tooele City Council acknowledging the mayor's appointment of Rebecca Peterson to the Tooele City Historic Main Street Commission as a commission member, presented by John Perez, the Economic Development Director.
Yeah, so this is a resolution appointing Rebecca Peterson to the Tooele City Historic Main Street Commission. And if you're not familiar with Rebecca Peterson, she is a particularly historic Main Street enthused individual. She works for the city's museum, and she really kind of brings a perspective, I think, that's healthy and will kind of supplement the previous appointment of Dorothy Manusakis to the commission as well. She's familiar with Broadway, and she gets it, and she's also attended different state historical preservation office events and Main Street events. So that's why the mayor and I thought she would be a great fit. And you'll see by appointing her in Exhibit A, then we have a full commission. So it's a healthy, when we have our different things, gets a healthier presence on different items and things. And Councilman Gossett is still the city council representative for the commission as well.
Okay, any questions or comments?
That wasn't as fun as the last one.
I know.
You did great, though.
It's too bad it's a state road and we can't make it more exciting, so, yeah.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2026-45, a resolution of Tooele City Council acknowledging the mayor's appointment of Rebecca Peterson to the Tooele City Historic Main Street Commission as a commission member.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman Gossett. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 11 is Resolution 2026-46, a resolution of the Tooele City Council ratifying and approving an agreement with Tooele County for dispatch services for fiscal year 2006 through 2027, presented by Chief Adrian Day.
I appreciate council's work on this earlier, and I apologize I didn't have it in time so we could get signatures on their time that they requested. This Tooele County dispatch fee totals $327,722 for this next fiscal year. The base price, they only charge $1 per population for the 2024. It's $38,405. So it's mostly the usage fee, which includes incident numbers and vehicle stops, as well as fire, which is just over $275,000. It's a 3-year average. 2023 to 2025, we really took a jump in 2025. We did have an increase of 2,000 more traffic stops as compared to 2023 and 24, and I believe that's why it's increasing. Besides the natural incident number increase is about 1,000. So, if there's any questions, I'm try to answer.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve Resolution 2026-46, a resolution of the Tooele City Council ratifying and approving an agreement with Tooele County for dispatch services for fiscal year 2026 and 2027.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 12 is Resolution 2026-48, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving a change order to the agreement with Newman Construction LLC for the 200 West Waterline Replacement Project presented by Nathan Farr, the Public Works Director.
Now we come to the most expensive part of the meeting. We had an opportunity with Newman Construction. They're already doing our 200 West water line, to have them add to that current scope a water line that will connect the Henwood Mobile Home Park to better fire coverage, fire suppression coverage. Their current water system is not adequate to provide their hydrants with enough water to put out fires. So we sought permission from them to run an 8-inch water line through their streets to get a looped system through that we would be connecting our fire hydrants to, just to give them adequate coverage and give them some opportunity to have a better fire system. It's not going to have any culinary connections to any of the trailers or anything like that. It'll just be a fire line.
Okay, any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2026-48, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving a change order to the agreement with Newman Construction LLC for the 200 West Waterline Replacement Project.
Second it.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman Gossett. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 13 is Resolution 2026-49, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving a change order to the agreement with Black Forest Paving LLC for the 2026 roadway maintenance project Schedule C, presented by Nathan Farr, the Public Works Director.
Thank you, Council. This Schedule C portion of our 2026 roadway maintenance project was supposed to be a mill and fill for Canyon Overlook Drive. This is a section of a subdivision that you may have last fall heard about on the news. Someone dubbed it the sinking subdivision, but it's got some issues with its roadway and the construction that took place 5 or 6 years ago. Once we got the project scheduled and the bids came in, we recognized that just doing a mill and fill on this section of roadway would not probably fix the problems. And so we asked Black Forest Paving, who had won the bid, to give us an estimate on how much it would cost to actually over-excavate this section of roadway and compact it correctly, and then put the road in a way that would make it last. It seems like we've done some patches in the past that have not held, and that it's still, you can watch people drive down the road and it's a little bit of a roller coaster. So we want to get this fixed the right way, and we think that this is the right way to do it. Black Forest assured us that they had done a similar project in Harriman and had positive results based on what they had accomplished. So
is it removing all of the road or just the areas that are sinking?
we had originally asked them to look at just the sinking areas, but we felt confident that if they removed 3 feet of the entire roadway, we'd be able to get it to a point where it'd be compactable. So,
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2026-49, resolution of Tooele City Council approving a change order to the agreement with Black Forest Paving LLC for the 2026 roadway maintenance project Schedule C.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Gossett and a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0.
thank you, Council.
Thanks. Item 14 is Resolution 2026-50, a resolution of the Tooele City Council ratifying and approving an agreement with Rain for Rent, Inc. for a golf course pump system at Overlake Golf Club. I wasn't sure if Darwin was going to sneak up or you. Presented by Nathan Farr, the Public Works Director.
It helps me to read if I put my glasses on. So I apologize. That was this agreement that we asked you to pass over email. And we'll use it as a fail-safe if we need to. We're not going to currently spend this money yet. If we run into any more problems at the treatment plant, we will engage Rain for Rent for their services. But as of right now, it's just going to be our safety measure if we need it.
Where do they get the rain when you're renting?
Well, if we can pay for Rain, you just tell me where to sign and I'll sign. So.
Good deal.
Okay, any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve 2026-50, a resolution of the Tooele City Council ratifying and approving an agreement with Rain for Rent Incorporated for golf course pump systems at Overlake Golf Club. Golf course. Probably should say golf course, not club.
Yeah, well, it is the club, I guess.
I guess, okay. We'll say both.
Yes.
Club course. Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett.
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches.
Aye.
Councilman Hanson.
Aye.
Councilman McCall.
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Now I think.
Now I'm done. Okay, I'm going to go sit down.
Yes. Item 15, Resolution 2026-51, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Johnson Controls, Inc. for heating and air conditioning control and upgrades at Tooele City Library to include chiller replacement, presented by Darwin Cook, the Parks and Recreation Director.
Thank you, Council. And speaking of golf courses, just so you know, because I'm sure your constituents have all called and talked to you about this, they did start replacing all the poles on the driving range at the golf course today. So that project is now moving forward, and we will open the bids for the net replacement tomorrow afternoon with the hopes that we'll bring that resolution to you at the next City Council. This project, however, Resolution 2026-51, is the final step in the upgrade of the HVAC at the library. In two previous resolutions, 2 previous years, you've approved a project for the boilers, and then recently the iView control system and the replacement of all the baffle controllers in the building. The final part of this project is to replace the chiller. We followed the same model that we used for this building. We started with the boilers and then did the control upgrade and then replaced the chiller. We have contracted with Johnson Control, or we're asking you to contract with Johnson Controls. They are a state contractor. I do need to make note, this is one of the capital improvements that was approved in the budget this year as a capital improvement. However, between the time we prepared this resolution and today, Johnson Controls I informed them that this was going to the city council today, and they got with their vendor and got with their supplier to get things in the works in hopes that, you know, they could get one secured for us. The price of the equipment has changed by $3,000. So the new amount for this resolution is $131,473.04. They'll replace this chiller in the shoulder months, so we're asking them to get everything on site, or at least in their site, so that they can in the shoulder month around October, when it mostly will switch to heating function, go into the building and replace the chiller.
Are there any questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
And just in the motion, whoever makes the motion will just need to identify that the price is now $131,473.04.
Mr. Chair, oh, go ahead, Melody.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-51, resolution of the Tooele City Council approving agreement with Johnson Controls Incorporated for heating and air conditioning control and upgrade to the Tooele City Library to include chiller replacement with a $3,000 price increase to $131,473.04.
I'll second.
With a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilwoman Goches, we'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Thanks,
you,
Darwin.
Council.
Item 16 is Resolution 2026-47, a resolution of the Tooele City Council authorizing the Tooele City purchasing agent to dispose of surplus personal property from the Public Works Department equipment, and presented by Shiloh Baker, the city recorder.
Thank you, Council. The Public Works Department has 6 plows and one 1993 Holden 12-ton flatbed trailer that we are requesting that the council declare a surplus. Those items were itemized in the packet. This equipment no longer meets our operational needs and has reached the end of their useful lives. Due to age and condition, these assets have not been used in some time. And in accordance with city policy, we're requesting that the council declare these pieces of equipment surplus, and then we will dispose of all of the equipment through auction.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve Resolution 2026-47, the resolution of Tooele City Council authorizing the Tooele City purchasing agent to dispose of surplus personal property, Public Works Department equipment.
Second it.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall and a second from Councilman Gossett. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 17 are invoices and purchase orders presented by Shiloh Baker, the city recorder.
Thank you. We have 2 one purchase order and 1 invoice to present. The first is to Stedman's. This is for 2 Honda Pioneer 1000s for the wastewater treatment plant. That's in the amount of $50,000. And the second is to Phase 2 LLC for security system. This is IT software for providing 24/7 support for IT, log retention analytics, firewall monitoring, antivirus monitoring, etc. That's in the amount of $59,829.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the invoices and purchase orders as stated by Shiloh.
I'll second it.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman Gossett. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then item 18 is the minutes from June 17th, 2026, City Council Business Meeting Minutes. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from June 17th.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. And then we were not able to finish our closed meeting, so Matt said that we need to vote again to move to a closed meeting, so I'll entertain a
Do we need to
motion.
adjourn this meeting?
So I'll adjourn, do I adjourn the business meeting and then we reconvene into our work meeting? Okay. Okay, so we are adjourning from our business meeting at 7:51 PM. And then we'll go to our work meeting where we have a closed meeting to discuss litigation and/or property acquisition. And I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Gossett?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. So at 7:52, we're recessing and we'll reconvene.